adult in the U.S. drinks 23 gallons of coffee a year. 12 million U.S. homes have one of those Keurig coffee machines, and the U.S. has more than 20,000 coffee shops. All of which leads to just one question. Now that Starbucks is restricting its bathroom usage, where are all these coffee drinkers peeing? Okay, two questions. All that coffee, all those shops, which kind of cup will keep your favorite beverage hotter longer? Is it the tall paper cup, like at Starbucks, a ceramic cup, like you have at home, a slightly fancier porcelain cup? Maybe it's a cup made of bone china, like this one, that I got as a wedding gift. Or maybe it's glass, or even metal. Why, maybe it's that styrofoam cup that everyone hates, because it's small and tacky and flimsy, and you can't recycle it. Plus, when you bite into it, it tastes like styrofoam. Finally, maybe it's one of these $20 fancy thermoses. This one says on the side, keeps coffee hotter longer. Longer than what, you ask? Well, we'll see. To begin, we've divided the cups into three groups. In the first, there's a fancy bone china cup I got for my wedding. A less fancy porcelain cup I also got for my wedding, but from someone who didn't love me enough to buy the fancier cup. A standard glass, and the standard Starbucks-style paper cup. Then we let time pass and recorded the temperature of the coffee at various intervals. This chart indicates the temperature of the coffee at 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 10, 20, and 30 minutes after being poured. And so far, it's the paper cup that's kept the coffee hottest. And yet, paper is actually a terrible insulator. Anyone who's tried to hold a Starbucks without the wrapper can tell you that. You know, once they put the soothing aloe burn lotion on. The reason? No air between the paper layers of a cup. And air, you see, doesn't conduct heat well, so it's a good insulator. It's engineering that improves the paper cup. When you take it apart, you see this spine between the cup and the wrapper. It creates an air-filled gap. Think Starbucks' corrugated wrapper. And since air is a terrible conductor of heat, your coffee stays warmer longer. As proof, we tested the paper cup with and without its external wrapper. Here's the results. In the second group, we've got a tall ceramic cup used as a to-go cup, a travel thermos made from double-wall 18-8 304 food-grade premium stainless steel with FDA-approved foam insulation, a traditional diner-style coffee mug made of ceramic, and a tall glass mug. And, just as previously, we let time pass and recorded the temperature of the coffee at different intervals. And this chart indicates the temperature of the coffee at the same various intervals as previous. We'll tell you why the thermos insulates so well, but first, what distinguishes hot coffee from cold is that the molecules in hot coffee are moving very quickly. The more they move, the hotter the coffee gets. The same rule applies to strippers. The coffee gets cold when its fast-moving molecules bump into the molecules of the container. Now, what you want in a coffee cup is a material that bounces the coffee molecules back as hard as they're hit. Some surfaces, like say glass, are better because they don't have a crystal structure on their surface that dampens the collisions. However, although the thermos is made of metal, it's got 2 layers of metal, and in between, it's got a combination of air and that insulation, both of which don't conduct the heat very well. So even though the metal itself might help to increase the rate at which the temperature decreases, the heat itself is dissipated very slowly. And in our final group, we've got a plain old blue plastic cup, a cheapo styrofoam cup, that I also got as a wedding gift. Suffice to say, I no longer speak to my grandmother. A wide-mouthed ceramic cup, and this metal can, which you might drink out of if you were, say, Survivor Man. As we did previously, we let time pass and recorded the temperature of the coffee at different intervals. Now, before we tell you which one did the best.
On an all-new This versus That. What's the best roof to have on your house if you live in a hurricane zone?
There's nothing we can do to stop a hurricane.
Plus, we've got a fan that blows wind, rain, and debris 125 miles per hour.
It's like an Arctic hurricane, if that exists.
We've also got a gorgeous mansion, some crap we found in the yard, 500 gallons of water,
Not so fast, Hurricane.
a suit that puts the bad in badass, and, did I mention, an 8-foot fan powered by a jet engine.
I'm gonna be inside the house. I'm not gonna get a drip on me.
It's what This versus That calls a recipe for awesome. And if you had just $100, what's the single best bet to make in the casino?
Bring it. No monkey! No monkey! Can we get a new dealer here? One that isn't married to Satan, perhaps?
It's blackjack versus roulette versus craps.
Baby needs a crib. Baby needs a new pair of hands.
You're dying. You're suffocating.
What is This versus That? It's the show that uses science to investigate questions everyone seems to have.
Blackjack or crap? Should I buy a hybrid car? Use a life vest or the seat
But
cushion?
no one else can seem to answer.
Not.
And these are your guys. There's Mark DiCarlo,
Dwarves, druids, a murder of crows.
Chris Tallman,
Sleeping!
and Brad Sherwood. They're three friends with an intense curiosity about how the world really works.
You are an idiot.
Now, they've been handed the tools, granted access, and provided the resources to find out. They'll ask questions,
What's the best type of roof to have on your house in a hurricane zone?
speak with the experts, conduct experiments,
I can't feel my fingertips.
and discover the facts. Then, at the end of each episode, your questions will be answered.
Really?
Yes, that's great.
The science within arm's reach will be made clear. And the right decision for you to make will ultimately be revealed.
I'm not sure what we proved, but we did it.
This versus that.
And now, the final results. Remember, we had a blue plastic cup, a styrofoam cup, a wide-mouth ceramic, and a metal can. This chart indicates the temperature of the coffee at 2 minutes, 4, 10, 20, and 30 minutes after being poured. And clearly, it's the styrofoam cup that kept the coffee hottest. Why? Well, there's 3 reasons. 1, polystyrene is a poor conductor of heat. 2, as the styrofoam pellets that are gelatinized and formed into a cup take their shape, lots of air is also mixed in. And as we know, air is also a poor conductor of heat. And 3, the styrofoam's rough surface inhibits convection and slows heat transfer from inside to outside the cup. So, if you're traveling with your coffee and you want it to stay hot, get yourself one of these $20 metal thermoses. And at home, when it comes to this versus that, paper versus plastic versus ceramic versus styrofoam, well, you want this.